Welcome to ClickAI Radio, where you'll learn the secrets to transforming your small to medium business. Grant has been helping businesses transform using technology for over 30 years. Advanced technologies like artificial intelligence have been available only to large companies and advanced technical teams. Grant will discuss how you can use to leverage AI and other technologies to grow your small to medium business. As a gift, Grant is offering his ebook, AI for Sales Growth, at clickairadio.com. Now, here's your host and biz tech geek, Grant Larson.
Hey everybody, this is Grant. Welcome to another episode of ClickAI Radio. Okay, a few days ago, I lost my voice. Hopefully it's coming back. I'm leaning into my microphone. All right, so I wanted to talk a little bit about biohacking. What the heck does that mean as it relates to our businesses? So a couple years ago, I was reviewing a blog. It was something by Dave Asprey. Those of you that watch or listen to him, many view him as the father of biohacking. Anyway, there were two big buckets where biohacking was being applied, right? One was longevity, and the other was improved brain function. So if you're thinking about, hey, I'm trying to improve my personal health, right? I'm looking at how can I improve, or I should say, increase the probabilities that I'll live longer. And then, of course, another way of biohacking is to say, I want to think better, right? I want to use my brain better. Right now, in reality, I think we want both of those qualities in our businesses, right? So we want our business to thrive with longevity, and we want our business brain functions, of course, to operate at the right level. You're like, Grant, what's a business brain function? Well, I think it's the ability for the business to operate and grow intelligently. I use that word intentionally because there are some kinds of growth that are not that intelligent. In fact, it's actually bad for the business. Now, I'm going to assert that our businesses are like living entities. Well, okay. Do you remember in one of the old Mission Impossible Tom Cruise movies, I think he makes this statement one time where he's talking and he says, hey, he says the traffic on a road, like on a freeway, I think he said, is like a living organism. Someone taps on their brake and it ripples through the whole system. Obviously, that's a bit of a joke, but there's an analogy here, right? Because our businesses have moving and interrelated parts. So let's turn back here to Dave Asprey. So he outlined seven elements here for biohacking our bodies. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do an analogy here of those 7 elements, but I'm going to apply it to our businesses with AI. We're going to hack our businesses with AI, but using Dave's 7 elements. All right, you ready? All right, get in your seat. Lean forward. Okay, here's the first one. The first principle that Dave points out is gut punch your posture. All right, when I think about gut punching my posture, what the heck does that mean to my business? Well, typically, if I'm going to change my posture, it means in business sense, I'm going to change the positioning of my business structure. Right, so this often means that I'm changing roles and responsibilities or operations, obviously the way things are structured and how things are sitting or moving. So in an AI sense, a real common theme when evaluating AI insights on our business is the realization that we need to make adjustments to the way the business operates. Now, this can feel like a gut punch as this affects people's positions and jobs and what they're used to doing. So it turns out this first biohack, gut punch your posture, applies to AI in business because we're going to be making changes to the business structure. All right, you ready? Number 2, eat nutrition. All right, that makes sense. How does that apply to business? Well, we're talking about intake here, right? What is it that we intake in our business? Well, there's several things. One of those is clients. And bringing in good clients that are a right fit for the business purpose is actually critical. Now, we want to use AI as a way to understand the patterns of best customer behavior. In other words, we want to know those that we serve the best, and we want to optimize towards that. Now, not doing this brings pain to your business and your body. It's like eating a steady diet of Twinkies. That's not good, right? So you may get the initial sugar rush of the business deal closing by bringing in that bad client, but afterwards you're going to experience the nausea, headaches, stomach pains, fat gain, and muscle loss. Did I miss anything? Well, I had that experience one time. It was in one of my startup companies. We desperately wanted to go do this business, and it was a one-off. It was different than what we were actually always doing. But we thought, oh, this would be cool to have, this big name associated with our company. So we kept pursuing it, and we signed this $1 million deal. No doubt, $1 million deal. I felt like king of the mountain, man. I was having the Twinkie sugar rush. I was like, woohoo! Next thing I know, the next 9 months were hellish. It was painful. Yeah, not the right thing to do for our business. Okay, so we use AI to understand those best fit customer patterns and to see them clearly and optimize. Lean into those, right? Eat nutrition for our business, right? Bring in the right kinds of clients. Okay, let's move on to number 3. So get in touch with nature. So Dave says, hey, go get in touch with nature. I'm all for that. I'm a mountain guy. I love the mountains. All right. So get in touch with nature. For our businesses, what this is really saying is I want to build connections with things that are outside of my 4 virtual walls, whether they're physical or virtual, right? Getting in touch with nature is leaving our places where we typically are and getting back to first principles. So getting outside of our 4 virtual walls, it's interacting with other sources. Like I saw recently Elon Musk's, how do you say that 5 times fast? Musk's, I don't know, I'm not on. Elon Musk's OpenAI API. It's actually really cool, right? And someone has built this cool app on it called AI Channels, all right? Here's the cool part about it. The idea is that you reach outside of your typical surroundings and you're looking for insights from the world around you. All right. Now, this is viewing AI. This is important because you want to view AI as augmented intelligence, right? You want to use it to open the door to viewing the world differently and getting additional insights. Heck, I even think Gutenberg, when he designed the press, the printing press, he pulled insights from multiple industries together to create that. So when we get in touch with nature, we go to first principles, but we also look outside of our typical surroundings for other insights around us. All right, number 4, here we go. Expose yourself to sunlight. All right, so this can literally mean exposing yourself as well as your business leaders to insights, right? The sun brings light and insights. This is critical. Now, not long ago, I was working with a team where some AI and analytics insights were made available to senior leaders of a company. However, they did everything they could to avoid, dismiss, and hide the findings because it put a bad light on some of their previous actions and business decisions. And so, if you're going to expose your business to the quote unquote AI sunlight, it requires some vulnerability on your part, on each of our parts. So this is a critical piece of biohacking our businesses, right? Exposing the things we may not have done well and being willing to make adjustments, all right, to move towards the truth. That's much more important. All right, let's move on to number 5, number 6? I've lost count of the number. Here we go. It's achieve a state of consciousness. Now, sometimes, from a biohacking perspective, this means breathing, all right? In fact, let me take a breath. There we go. All right, I took a breath. All right, so taking pause as a business, now that's a critical part of any business, right? In fact, I've seen change fatigue overwhelm multiple organizations, right? We get really excited about, oh, I'm going to go make these changes, right? I'm going to pivot my business to the future. All of that is great. I watched another company recently use AI and data analytics to make changes to their internal business operations. And they did it on a regular basis. And it was awesome. They were really methodical about it, did a great job. And so this had some initial positive benefits. But it's kind of turned addictive, right? So the company continued to push new change after new change, leveraging the insights. That's all good, but over time, the employees started to experience change fatigue. And so AI must be used with care when doing this, right? We have to gauge the right way to do this, how fast do we do this. So achieve a state of consciousness in our business. Makes a lot of sense. All right, and then the last one that I'll mention here is, again, this is from Dave Asprey's list, show gratitude. Well, I'm all for that. I think that's really huge. In fact, every day in my personal journals, I try to write down things of gratitude. What were the great blessings that I saw in my life or the life of my family the day before? And so I pause and I reflect on that. So that's early in the morning when I'm trying to get my mojo on. But that's a great way to start the day. So show gratitude. As a business, I found it helpful to give back as, to worthy causes. In fact, my son Steve just did that recently. He identified some charities with his business to give into. Really awesome. Now, a critical goal of AI should be to improve not only the efficiencies of the business, but really, I think we have a broader responsibility to improve the well-being of the customers we're serving and of the employees that we're bringing into our companies. Now, the goal, of course, is to bring a higher quality of life, right? And I think that's a critical element to the ethical and healthy use of AI. This OpenAI.com site says, hey, I'm reading the quote here. They're like, discovering and enacting the path to safe artificial general intelligence. Yeah, okay, that makes sense. All right. It's a balance in all of this. Now, the activities for biohacking our bodies, I think, in order to improve longevity and improve brain functions, I think they're admirable. And some care and caution has to be used when applying that. Some people get way out there. But I would also say in a similar manner, biohacking our businesses with AI requires the same need for exploration and balance. So with that, I'd say, let's go explore. Hey everyone, thanks for joining. And until next time, let's get started biohacking your business with AI.
Thank you for joining Grant on ClickAI Radio. Don't forget to subscribe and leave feedback. And remember to download your free ebook. Visit clickairadio.com now.